What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 with our Japanese playthrough. I do want to go ahead and point out that unfortunately I think our war is over, and unfortunately this is probably going to be just a rebuilding episode. You know, obviously we are repairing whatever we can, we are building up our industry as much as we can. I do think we should probably get 1 or 2 synthetic refineries. And the reason why I say that is we definitely are going to need oil. You know, to obviously power our planes, power our ships. But unfortunately, synthetic refineries are very expensive. And it actually saddens me how expensive they are. We could easily get 2 naval dockyards for the price of 1 synthetic refinery. But obviously we need the refinery because we need the oil. And it does give us rubber, which isn't bad. But it might not necessarily be the worst thing in the world to just trade for it. But nevertheless, it looks like we now have our Mitsubishi A5M, which is our naval... What is this? This is our carrier fighter, so that means you can be constructed. And the idea is we need rubber and we need oil, but now we have the ability to actually have real carrier fighters rather than interwar fighters. Japanese diplomats in Berlin. Field hospitals have been unlocked. I absolutely want demand French Indochina, but I don't think it can happen yet because obviously France hasn't fallen. Is there anything with industry that we can get? We could get synthetic oil focus, but we don't really need that. Let us begin. Increased naval production. That means we get 4 more dockyards. I get that we aren't really using them. But who knows? Invite to faction from the German Reich. I will join your faction, but I absolutely will not join any wars just yet. 4 more days and we get a new radar. And you know what? I might even move these up to the top. While obviously finishing up what we've started, and then start working on our synthetic refineries. And the reason why I say that is, you know, at least for now, we're not going to be running out of, you know, oil. At least I hope not. You're going to move down. Research slot available. Let us finally... It's 1938. I don't really know what we need to work on. Definitely, we have 3 different types of air doctrines. We have strategic destruction, battlefield support, and we have operational integrity. I think we're going to go with operational integrity because I believe the entire goal is we have the ability to essentially just protect up as much of our airspace as we can. We get a lot of, you know, bonuses to agility to our fighters and to our heavy fighters. I think we are going to go ahead and get this. We also get some bombing bonuses. But we also get fighter detection, which would be very useful. So let's start operational integrity. Let's also start carrier primacy. Actually, it's 1938. This is going to take a while. Can we get a better carrier yet? No, not yet. We could get a better destroyer, but we don't really need it. You know what? Maybe getting that 178 days as well. Let's get better carrier organization because I have nothing better to do. And it's not 1939, still 1938. Nothing I really need. It wouldn't be too bad to get encryption. And it is very cheap, so let's go ahead, 92 days, and then I guess when we have completed military police and encryption, we'll start working on our industry. So like I said, all we're going to do is we're building up our refineries, we're building up what we can. This needs to go to the top, and that needs to go to the top. Now, the idea, though, is I do need to start obviously pumping out some fighters. I need to start pumping out what I can. And, you know, if I had some oil, things would go a lot better in my favor. Let's trade for some oil. Let's actually trade for whatever we can. We need oil and we need rubber and aluminum. I need oil. Who can I get it from? Not the German Reich, that's for sure. What about Italy? Does Italy want to trade us anything? I don't see them on this list. So let's get 16 oil from Mexico. Let's get a few oil from Argentina. And a little bit of oil from Colombia. I now also want to go ahead and take a look at aluminum. We need a little bit more aluminum. So I suppose let's grab it from Italy. Make them a little bit stronger. Very, very, very minimal, though. And we need rubber. Who can we get it from? Obviously, we're going to produce our own in just a few moments. But I guess we can get some from Brazil. Once we go to war, this is going to be over with. Get a little bit from Siam, at least for now. We're going to kill you eventually. And I guess the Dutch East Indies, because I have nothing better to do. Okay, now obviously we use... Now we have... That's odd. Now we have too much rubber. Now, basically, the reason why I brought all of that up is, you know, the entire goal is to build up our industry, so I think what we'll do is once we finally get some synthetic refineries up and running, we will eventually dismantle some of the rubber purchases and the oil purchases. What else can we unlock? We have a new political advisor. We don't really need better conscription laws. I think what we definitely want right now is a better ship designer. And basically, I want anything that can improve our carrier's deck size, and they now have better range. Absolutely going to take the Yokosuka Naval Arsenal, but also some of these basically make everything weaker but easier to produce. And then these get better, you know, submarines, better max range. I think that's submarines. These are destroyers. And then these are just better capital ship armor. I think what I want is the better deck size because I'm going to have some very powerful aircraft carriers. But you know what? I need research to make that happen. And I need time to complete our research. What are we working on now? Obviously pumping out as many fighters as we can get our hands on. As long as we, you know, start getting some naval bombers, I think I'll be happy. Yugoslavia claims Bulgaria. And you know what? All we can really do now is just build up our industry as much as we can. And I guess send you on home to Hiroshima. And let's go ahead and grab you. Where did you come from? You're not necessarily the strongest, but nevertheless, you can go down to Taiwan. And all you're going to do is just sit there for now. All 4 of these units, are they any good? Looks like we have a heavy cruiser, so not bad. We have a submarine, but unfortunately no real massive ships. And you know what? It looks like some of these planes aren't where they need to be. A lot of our carriers have actually sunk some ships, which is very nice and very unique. Can we... What are we waiting on? I guess, you know, they have up to 58 because obviously I did that earlier. But I guess our biggest issue is we need carrier fighters. Oh my goodness, 421 days. So that's what we're waiting on. Now I wonder, can I do something like this? Because we're gonna need a lot of them. And I wonder, do we need carrier naval bombers? I don't even see them on this list. Here they are. We have positive 41, so not as many. Here are all of our Marines still being built up. I think we are lacking equipment. It looks like we're lacking equipment. We're lacking motorized divisions. Why do we need motorized divisions? Ah, for our logistics companies. Is that what it is? I hope not. Well, I suppose now we need to build those, which does require oil and rubber, which is very unfortunate. Finally starting to chip away at some of our synthetic refineries. That will save us some oil and save us some rubber in time. But you know what? Our number one priority is to get some carrier fighters. We're only getting about 2 every single week. But obviously, as time goes on, we will produce more and more and more. Increased naval production has been unlocked. Let us get advanced torpedoes. 100% more range. That is absolutely insane. Looks like we're still lacking a little bit of oil. And I'm wondering, can I actually move the convoys down? This will be done on the 6th of July. That's literally a year from now. It's a very long time. As you can see, though, carriers are very effective if they are obviously purchased when they needed to. And we're actually now in 1939, so that means definitely changing over to industry, building up whatever we can would be our number one objective. We have some free dockyards, but we don't have oil, so that's what we lack. I could get more. Don't think I will, though. Actually, another carrier wouldn't be all that bad. Don't think I'm going to change it, though. Okay, so what can I do, at least for now? It looks like it's going to take 293 days to unlock our new planes. Not necessarily unlock, but at least construct. Let us finally get better construction. Now everything will produce 10% faster. In 13 days, we are going to be unlocking better concentrated industry. And like I said, the idea is just build up our industry as much as possible. We're probably going to go to war in about a year and a half from now. I believe Germany will declare war on Poland in September of 1939, if we are really following a historical status here. Man, I can't believe we've conquered all of China. I'm surprised that this is working. We are obviously, everything has been repaired, and all we're doing now is just building up our industry. Though I would like a lot of these factories back. And all we need is synthetic refineries. We get 7 oil and 4 rubber per refinery. Encryption has been unlocked, which now means we can make our way towards better concentrated industry, getting even more output. Now I wonder, when I get 150 political power, I will most likely get some sort of naval aircraft designer. So that means all future naval bombers and carrier naval bombers will now have more range and attack, which essentially is going to be the best bet in taking out the United Kingdom's navy, and potentially if the US ever joins the war. Hint, hint. But other than that, the USSR is very scary as well. I hope, with our German and Japanese alliance, I don't think the German Reich would ever invade us anytime soon. Now it looks like Czechoslovakia and Memel has been taken, but Czechoslovakia is still a country, so I guess we will see what happens. All of our Marines are prepped and ready to go, but we need some actual motorized divisions, which are cheap, but they require oil and rubber, which I don't want to spend. But maybe I should. So I guess we'll get 3 of these, push this all the way to the top, and because we have so many infantry equipment, I will split those off and move them back. So we're getting 5 every week. How many do we even need? 638. So 751 days. That is insane. Let us do this. What just happened? I did it backwards. Well, what if I did this? And now this should take not nearly as long. Once I probably have like positive 1,000, I'll probably, change up. I don't need as many motorized. And you know what? They do produce fairly quickly. And if I deployed them now, they would not necessarily... I don't think they would be trained. I think they would be... Well, I don't know. It says they're trained. Even though they lack equipment, they lack the motorized divisions. I'm wondering what would happen. All 5 of you need to make your way closer to Hong Kong, because the entire goal is once we declare war on the United Kingdom, I need you to basically remove this threat. And we've unlocked an air doctrine giving interception detection. So now we have the ability to basically spot units 20% better. Can we? It's not 1940. So I guess let's continue once again. Yes. Our number 1 priority is our industry. Can't believe we almost forgot about that. Still working on doctrines. Still working on naval doctrines as well. Fate of Czechoslovakia finally being undergone. Zog, all of Albania has submitted to Italy. Czechoslovakia has lost some territory, all being ceded to the German Empire. And eventually, a small amount of Slovakia... Oh, actually, it's already happened. Southern Slovakia has been granted to Hungary. There's a lot of steel and a lot of chromium here. Let us unlock naval air innovations. We can get better naval bombers and better fighters, which we absolutely need. We have 150 political power. Let us unlock the naval aircraft designer, giving us range and more damage. Nothing really that we can do except wait for all of our additional units. They're going to be done in 131 days, so obviously, it won't take all that long. We have a lot of infantry equipment, definitely more than we would ever need. Our carrier fighters, though, says they're going to be 130 days. It's taking a long time. Our oil is almost done, And then finally, we won't need as many. It looks like now we lack -15, which is a little sad. Why, though? Because the German Reich, due to low trade influence... Well... What was that? This is aluminum. Can I get more aluminum? No. What is this? This is aluminum? I'm getting aluminum from the German Reich? That doesn't make sense. I guess I am. Let's take it from Italy, though. They don't want to give me that many. Okay, so I'm getting 16 and 32. I need 20. I suppose we are going to take it from the Dominion of Canada. I don't like them either. Ah, here's some. Let's take it from our allies, of course. Or better yet, our puppet. Now we have +7, which I'm wondering... Can I find Canada, remove one of you, save a factory? I think I will. And I definitely don't mind. I wonder what we needed the aluminum for. Obviously our planes... now we have -47 oil. Well, once we get some more oil, we are going to get some more motorized. And then obviously once we reach our threshold... In 91 days, we can basically dismantle all of our motorized altogether. But yeah, some of our synthetic refineries have finally been completed. We now only lack 30 oil, which is still a lot. But yeah, it is what it is. We are obviously getting 3 more synthetic refineries, trying to get some more oil, trying to get some more rubber. We now have 0 rubber, so we aren't necessarily at a deficit. Then we don't really have a surplus either. I need oil. And I could easily trade for it. It's not bad. I guess we'll take it from Venezuela. I will get 32 of you. Though the only thing I didn't really want is to have a surplus. But now we can get our carrier on time. The 30th of July. Infiltration Assault has been unlocked. Might as well get better land night attack, even though I don't really plan on using it anytime soon. Actually, my #1 priority should actually be better weapons. I wish I didn't do that. And I am going to want some additional upgrades with our landing platforms for naval invasions. That way it'll be half the time rather than what we're currently spending. I can deploy all of our units now. We are currently missing 370 though. 55 days. Okay, we now have positive oil and positive rubber. Only because I need to save as many factories as I can. Let's remove 1 factory from Venezuela. And we still have positive oil, but now we have 1 additional civilian factory that can do what we need. Carrier primacy has been unlocked. As much as I would really like to get this landing craft, 243 days, I don't want the ahead of time penalty. So let us get better weapons and better equipment. So better grenades in general, and probably a submachine guns and anti-tank rifles, making us even more powerful. I definitely need to obviously upgrade all of our industry. It's what we're waiting on. $44 days until we have full motorized. And you know what? I might even want a little bit more than full. Now, the reason why I say that is because, once we move around, it is going to be a little bit of an issue. Just because I like to do this, I like my logistics companies to be 4th. I don't know why. Let us add some logistics companies to all of our Marines. Did that change anything? Yes, now we have -1,000 motorized companies. 142. Now, don't get me wrong, they will obviously get more and more efficiency as time goes on, so it's not really all that bad. I could even use more oil. We'll see what happens. You're about to be completed very, very soon. Our Marines are going to get stronger and stronger, which I'm fine with, and it should only take about 100 days. But now they all have logistics companies. They're all doing it much better than before. These are all of my Manchurian troops. Italy has joined the Axis, getting closer and closer to a world war. We have a lot of troops here. But nevertheless, we can move you to the Russian border to protect everybody we can. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Diplomats from Germany and the Soviet Union concluded what observers are describing as a historic agreement today with the signing of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, named after German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop and his Soviet counterpart Vyacheslav Molotov. This non-aggression pact stimulates that neither side will ally itself to nor aid an enemy of the other. Foreign diplomats warn that this treaty effectively gives Germany a free hand to wage war and Europe without having to fear Soviet intervention. So basically, we now have Bolshevik friends. Supposedly, Soviet Union will now not declare war on Japan or me, and they're free to take all of this land. Romania, Poland, a little bit of Poland, not all of it. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Finland. What are we waiting on? Let's finally begin unlocking our super heavy battleships, and then obviously moving on into our carrier focus. Looks like we're still working on some oil, getting some new rubber, and obviously we want to get as many civilian factories as we can. Obviously it was nice getting all of this equipment. We now have some actual fighters. We now have, this carrier should be done sometime soon. I really hope it was worth it, but we'll see what happens. 30th of July, 1939. And it says carrier fighter, but I wonder, will those actually change now that we have a different carrier fighter? I guess we have more of the interwar, and we're only producing 0.7 a day. I definitely am going to need some naval bombers, but I need aluminum. And I guess the only way to really do that is to take over British Malaysia. And you know what? I wonder, I have a lot of political power. If I justified a war against Siam, it would take 235 days. I think I'm going to do this now. And I wonder, will Siam... Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be, basically protected by, Great Britain and France. I don't see them anywhere. France has banned communism. I'm a little concerned here. And I believe the Philippines is a puppet of the United States. I could be mistaken. Yes, they are. They are a puppet of the U.S. So we're going to try to take over all of France in one swoop. And we're also going to take over all of Siam. I could puppet them, but I really don't want to do that because I would like all of their resources, all of their manpower. They have 13 million manpower, which I definitely want to have happen sooner rather than later. Eventually, we are going to have to start building up some additional, some additional naval production as well. Looks like this is almost done, 30th of July. Hirohito speaks against Siam. The future is near. It's going to take quite a few days, though. 13th of August till our synthetic refinery is complete. We currently are lacking oil and we're lacking rubber. Once again, more unassigned divisions. It's always the same. It's like always in Manchuria. Construction level 3 has been completed. So now we will unlock excavation 3. And you know what? I hate to say this, but we're probably going to do the ahead of time penalty and get better landing craft. I get that it's 208 days. We'll probably wait 30 days after the 10 and just start knocking that out. Getting better naval invasions will probably be one of our biggest priorities. So I wonder, can I speed up the clock a little bit? Yes, I can. All of our new infantry will continue to move to the front line against Russia. Concentrated industry has been unlocked. Can we get better radar? Yes, we can. So let's do that. Pretty soon we're going to need some radar dishes. And I guess we have the ability to have level 2 radar, but not level 3. There's level 3. It's not really all that powerful. Okay, we now have a massive surplus of oil and a massive surplus of rubber. Can we remove some of the trading from Venezuela? Yes, we can. And we don't need as much rubber anymore. I don't think I want it from the Dutch East Indies. Let's send them off. And Poland refuses the German ultimatum. I do want the carrier focus while we're here. Now, basically, World War II has finally begun. Italy has declared war on France. Germany has declared war on Poland. And eventually, there is going to be a massive, massive amount of bloodshed here inside Europe. Now, if the Soviet Union was smart, they would take over Finland, Romania, Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. We will see exactly what happens. In the meantime, obviously, we are still building up our industry. We are actually almost done. And maybe getting a little bit more oil might not be such a... Well, no. Our number one priority is to basically just build up our industry as much as we can. And basically prepare for the worst. I absolutely would like all of these provinces, but I don't think it's going to happen until France falls. We have another research slot. It's not 1940. I think our number one priority is... I'm going to wait. I guess that I got better radar without waiting. We're going to wait the 30 days and start working on better landing craft. The Netherlands has joined the Allies. I have 170 political power and nothing to spend it on. I guess we'll get infantry design, meaning everything is a little bit cheaper. And at least to research, I should say. The fall of Warsaw. Poland has fallen. In a moment, the Soviet Union should be honored with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and then half of Poland will be ceded. Okay, still waiting. A few more days, 7 more days, and then we can finally begin. USSR occupies Eastern Poland. I do want to slow this down in just a moment. Okay, finally getting our landing craft. 157 days, which is actually kind of a long time. Slowing on down to speed 4. All of these Marines can basically be deployed, but you know what? I think I'm just going to leave them there for now. And actually, I wonder, looking at our Marines, should I add more to them? I can. I've got the equipment. I've got the artillery. It'll make them stronger. I think I will do that. Where are my other Marines? These guys will probably need to exercise. Belgium has capitulated. What are we waiting on? Making more factories. We have a lot of steel. Looks like our carrier finished up. Our carrier did finish, and it has full capacity. Here it is. Yeah, maybe not. I guess it's this one. It's fresh. The fall of Paris has been unlocked, or at least completed. And I believe France will fall any moment now. There they go. France has capitulated. Which, what is this dot? That's weird. Never really seen that. Probably a glitch. Now the goal is, once we have carrier focus, we are going to begin demanding French Indochina, and obviously declaring on Siam whenever we can. I guess we are going to have to, unfortunately, go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you all for joining me. It really does mean a lot. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.